Hey guys, welcome back to Cat View. So I'm going to be doing a upload today about the news that we have heard. Oh my soul. The news about Superman, of course. So as you guys can see, I had some feelings. I had some reactions to the news about Superman, about Henry Cavill specifically no longer playing Superman, our Superman, as Zack Snyder puts it. It was definitely very early in the day for me when I read this news and I found out. It was like a ding dong, like the bells have rung. The bells have rung. The god is dead. It's so sad. It's so upsetting. So anyway, I'm gonna try and push forward. So I just wanted to make this quick little update, just to tell you guys, obviously, that Henry Cavill is going to be, as far as we can see, at least for the future of solo Superman films, it seems, out of the DC EU. So he is going to be replaced, it seems, by a black Superman. I think they're going a different route with the character. They're basically rebooting the franchise. So they will be rebooting... It's so stupid. They'll be rebooting the Superman franchise, even though they didn't finish the Superman franchise. So like, I don't know, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man has, what, 3 films now? I think Thor has 3 films over at Marvel, and yet, unfortunately at DC, like, we just can't get anything for Supes, which is like, again, one would argue that Superman is one of the most beloved characters, not just from DC, like, of all time in terms of superheroes. He's been around for a very, very long time. There's been plenty of iterations and adaptations of the character. And Henry Cavill, when he was cast, was kind of a wild card decision back then as well. I can agree to that. However, he's become a fan favorite. He's become arguably, some would say the best. I don't agree with that. I think Christopher Reeves was the OG. But I would argue he's up there. He's probably my second favorite Superman, apart from Christopher Reeves, and not just because of the iteration that Zack Snyder did with him, which I found interesting. I know a lot of people didn't like the dark side of Supes, but they always want the humble pie version of Superman. But we've seen that done so many times, and I really felt like what Snyder did was creatively different and brought some like depth to the character itself, rather than this beacon of Superman as a hero. You look at Clark, or Kal-El, if you will, as the person, or the alien being, I guess, if you will. But anyway, point is, I think Henry Cavill, and I've said this before, did a really fantastic job. I think he embodied Superman, and I loved him as Supes, and I'm a fan of Henry Cavill as an actor. I really loved him in the role, and I'm very disappointed, as a lot of people seem to be, about this decision. Now, for various reasons. One, again, because I like Henry Cavill. I think he did a really good job. 2, because the character of Superman played by Cavill didn't get his due. I mean, they gave him one Man of Steel film. We were always waiting for another Man of Steel, Man of Steel 2, and it just never happened. And I'll be honest, like, I had a gut feeling that this would happen as soon as J.J. Abrams, who J.J. Abrams is set to produce, as soon as they brought J.J. Abrams in, I'm not going to lie, I had like a gut feeling that it was Dunsky. However, I held out hope because Superman would want me to. I held out hope because I wanted Cavill to do it. So it's what you do when you want something. You try and hope and have faith and believe and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't want it to go down this way. Also, in terms of the actual DCU itself and all the other characters and how it would tie in, it's confusing because like I've said many times, I like my Trinity. So Ben Affleck's gone, which I wasn't too worried about, to be honest with you. I'm not worried with them recasting Batman. I'm not worried even if they choose to go the route of bringing in Batgirl, if that's what they want to do. I don't even care if they frankly just use Michael Keaton again as Batman, which would be very odd to see because He's like in his 60s, I believe, so I don't think that's gonna work. But he's coming back in some capacity either way. But I wasn't too worried about Batman and Wonder Woman. As long as I don't touch Wonder Woman, well then I'm pretty happy. But Supes is like my fave, and he's up there. And I just didn't see this progressing. I was okay with it progressing with Henry Cavill Superman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and then the rest of the characters, which I mean I don't care that much about if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's like don't fuck with Superman. It's like just have just one rule, just don't touch Superman, don't touch the trio basically. Well, I would normally have that rule, but then again, like I said, Ben Affleck didn't really make such an impact on me. I didn't not like him. I just didn't like it. Doesn't It's whatever. But anyway, back to Henry Cavill. So yeah, they've announced this. How he will go down in terms of the character and official statement maybe by Warner Brothers. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do. I don't know if this was a decision made on behalf of Cavill or Warner Brothers or J.J. Abrams even, or like a bunch of people. We don't know what they're gonna do with that. As far as going for the Black Superman role with this reboot, I don't think it's a good idea. I really honestly don't. That's my honest opinion. I don't think it's a good idea. I think a lot of people, regardless of what happened behind the scenes, because there's always rumors and stuff like that with Warner Brothers and Cavill. Regardless of that, the thing is that I feel like Warner Brothers doesn't get, and they just don't care. They're this corporation, but they need to understand that they're making movies for people to watch. They need people to want to watch their films so they can pay to continue this. And I just don't see people, especially with the way they've done this. They didn't give Supes his trilogy. They everything is supposed to be in a trilogy. You can't reboot a franchise and a character without finishing the previous one. And we only got one Man of Steel film. Not only that, but literally, how are they going to wrap this up? I mean, obviously they're just going to try and do the multiverse angle where they just, I guess, don't talk about it, or maybe they'll make some cheesy low reference to him. And Henry Cavill as his Superman and what he put into it and what he gave to Warner Brothers, despite those Man of Steel maybe not being the most popular film, I feel like it's fucking underrated. That was a great film. I feel like he really gave so much of himself to this performance, and he did a lot for the fans as well. And Warner Brothers really should recognize that. And I know whoever they feel like they're going to cast, maybe they feel like the grass is greener, but I don't agree. And I also feel like going with Black Superman after doing something like this to the fans is going to leave a very, very sour taste in fans' mouths. And there's going to be a lot of people kicking up a dust storm protesting to this. I've spent my day watching uploads really of just people doing basically tributes to Cavill through their reactions, the same as I'm doing right now. It's been kind of funny, but also really kind of sad at the same time. There are so many fans of Henry Cavill as Superman. I just think they've done him dirty and just done the character injustice really from doing this. And again, just to touch on Black Superman, it's a very risky move. You've taken something that fans like, and you're going to introduce something that has never been done before, live action, and you're going to put a person of color. And here's the thing: there are going to be people. That's the thing. There are going to be people who are racist, unfortunately, and who just refuse to have Superman be anything other than what he is, in any way, shape or form, basically. There's just no leeway there. My opinion on it is I wouldn't have minded seeing this different Superman version, even though I've never seen it. And yes, I grew up with the OG Superman that every one of us pretty much grew up with, because there hasn't been, like I said, this hasn't been done before in live action. And so people become accustomed to a certain version of a character. And sometimes I don't think it's a race thing. It wouldn't have mattered if it was a African American person or a Hispanic person or an Asian person. To me, the character of Kal-El basically he's an alien, so Superman is an alien form. He could really just be whatever. But the thing is that they've built this franchise over decades of a certain character looking a certain way, and people expect that. The way people, I mean, look at how people reacted to Snyder's vision of Superman. People didn't like it because it was too dark. So as I was saying, guys, people didn't like Zack Snyder's version of Superman. They didn't like that he was dark and that he was broody. They feel like Batman is that character. I liked it. Like I said, I felt like it, especially with Man of Steel, I really felt like we saw the emotions of what Superman as a person on planet Earth must feel like, you know, going through and experiencing being this hero, but also being this outcast. And the way that I feel like the way he did, you know, BVS really showcased that even more. And it's so much more upsetting because I feel like that specific version of Clark Kent was on this journey to become the version that people want, to become the, you know, wholesome apple pie humble version of Clark Kent that a lot of people have become, you know, accustomed to and used to, and that's all they want to see. And it's another reason why it was cut short, and it's just so frustrating and upsetting, really disappointing. You know, like I've said, Warner Brothers is really making some risky executive decisions, and I just don't think they're going to pay off. I really believe that I just think that this is like a very big mistake, given how fans feel towards the franchise, how it's performed, and how the character has been beloved for so many decades in a certain way. And like I said, you know, here's the thing. To me, there's nothing wrong with people that like things a certain way and don't like it changed. I know that a lot of people like to argue over the internet and be keyboard warriors and, you know, claim diversity, but this to me doesn't feel like inclusion and diversity. It feels forced. It feels forced by a company that is just trying to pull the wool over people's heads and really cater to a certain demographic, and then disregarding the rest of the fans, basically. And I don't think I know many people that are fans of the franchise and of Superman himself and Cavill as playing that role that have had that much of a problem with Cavill playing the role, that I think that might come up with another actor filling those shoes, especially seeing as you're completely changing the character around. And like I said, a lot of people don't like change. You know, this is entertainment at the end of the day. It's supposed to entertain a certain individual or individuals, and if that's what they want to see, that's what they want to see. You can't argue and force something down somebody's throat because of your diversity. Like that's the whole point, though. Like, you know, you want it to be diverse, but you're forcing your opinion onto somebody else. And I don't really believe in that. And that's the thing, like there are people like that, like myself, for example, at least in the near future, that don't want to see the character changed in this drastic way. Especially, like, for me, that's what it is. For me, it's not the race thing. I don't have issue with a black actor playing Superman. I don't. The same way I don't have issue with, like, Sasha Calle, for example, being classed as Supergirl. You know, Supergirl is blonde with blue eyes, I believe. I mean, I don't know that much about Supergirl, to be honest with you, but I know that there's a CW version. I've seen what the character looks like in the comics. Now, to be fair, like, they may dye her hair blonde and put contacts in. However, she's still Hispanic, and people are gonna, again, want that wholesome white bread version that it's that all-American white girl, all-American white boy, and that's just how they see the character. And fact of the matter is like, that's not how the character is, because there's been many, like I said, iterations of it. So that's not my issue personally. My issue is the fact that we didn't get to see Henry Cavill complete a trilogy. The character hasn't been set up properly, and it feels forced down my throat. That's what it feels like, and I don't like when studios try and manipulate audience like this and just put it in front of the table and you have to eat it. And it's like, a lot of people are not gonna I think respond well to that sort of forceful nature of entertainment. I mean, that's not what it's meant to be. It's supposed to be something that is beloved and adored and you look forward to it and you get hyped about it and excited. And I think that's what again, that's what that character is for a lot of people, and you're going and changing that very drastically. You know, Miles Morales with Spider-Man is such a perfect example how they did that. You know, they introduced Miles, I believe in the games, you know, Miles was an integral part of character development with Peter Parker. You know, Peter Parker was the star of the show, but Miles was developed through, you know, various different iterations of it, including Into the Spider-Verse, and now he's got his own game, which I'm sure is going to lead to a live-action film at some point, where Miles is the lead and is not replacing Peter Parker. He is Miles Morales, but he's another Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, and that's the thing. They've built up that character. They gave the audience time to learn about this character with you know, Peter Parker. Now, if they had brought in, let's pretend for argument's sake, it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. Let's just say they brought in Michael B. Jordan and they introduced him as his version of Superman in the Flash film coming up in 2022. And Superman is in that, Henry Cavill Superman is in that, and they introduced him there. That might still happen, who knows, but you know, let's just say that they did that, and then they went ahead and, you know, did a whole film with both of them parts, you know, of both of them in that, similar to like Captain Marvel too, where she came into the Avengers film. Like, it's just there's nothing there. There's no build up whatsoever. And again, this goes into the question of how are they gonna farewell if they do decide to farewell Henry Cavill like once and for all. Like, there's definitely never going to be another iteration of a solo film with Henry Cavill as Superman. If that's the way that they're going with it, and it's 100% like not shelved for 4 or 5 years down the track, because I don't think that's going to happen. And I mean, again, Henry Cavill's 37. He's going to get another franchise, I believe. You know, he's a young actor. He's not young for the role of Superman, but he's a fairly young actor still in the business, and I think he's still got a lot of years of good work ahead of him. And I think this is just going to be a very missed opportunity. And the thing is, films take time to make. Like, even this situation, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. For me, though, there's still going to be a nostalgia factor there, and I'm just going to miss, I think I'm going to miss very much so Henry Cavill as Superman, because a lot of people have been waiting for that, and to wait for something for so long and then just have it completely, like, the rug pulled out from under you, and it's like, now this person's gonna play the role, and it's not even gonna be that role. It's gonna be a completely different character. So it's like, it's like a twisted morph of a version that you wanted, but it's not the same version. And that's how I personally see it. So that's my issue with it. The reason why I don't want to see a black Superman anytime soon, that's the only reason why. If they had built it up and integrated the character properly and thoroughly and gave it the time it deserved to build the character so we can love that character, rather than just throwing us into it and expecting us to learn and like it, I don't think it's going to go down very well. I think there's going to be a lot of hate for this. Sadly, I think a lot of people are going to be very cruel. I feel very bad for the person that gets the role. Whoever does get the role with the reboot, I hope that they do it justice and they do well with it. And all we can do is hope for the best, I guess, for the characters, because that's what we love. We love these characters and what they do and how they inspire. So let's just hope for positive things. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the idea, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to watch the film when it comes out. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about this. If you're keen, because there's going to be a new Superman, you're excited, you hated Cavill, I don't know. Like, let me know in the comments how you feel about this. And I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.